were important. We really wanted to live in a rural place and in somewhere that was growing food, like at Cobb Hill.
A place near water. We wanted a place near a train station. We wanted a place that had a spiritual practice or a spiritual emphasis.
In a place that was sharing a lot of things. But most of all, we wanted to find a place to call home.
So after going through this list of what we wanted in community and finding the communities that had similar traits, we actually ended up finding the community that had most of the things that we wanted.
I visited Hummingbird for about 2.5 days, 5 years ago, and simply had a good feeling. It's something about the commitment to live together, to work together, to alchemize together.
Many of the people here are natural teachers and writers, and that was their dream, to be bringing people here to help become more connected with who they really are, with what they really are, connected with the land, remembering the land again.
Here we are consciously cultivating how do we create a field where we practice just creating a safe space to be loving with each other. And of course, we have issues that come up, and we can share with each other, and that's that we're suppressing any problems or conflicts, but it's that we're cultivating an accepting, compassionate, love field to have those happen in.
So at Hummingbird, we were embraced as if we were family. And I'd never experienced that outside of my natural born family. That I was loved exactly as I am. I was welcomed back at any time, no matter what. It was beautiful.
After 5 months of living in community at Joyful Path, we knew what we wanted and where we wanted to go. Now it was time to get back on the road and make it to Hummingbird in New Mexico. Now that we had officially decided to leave our unsustainable lifestyles behind, there was still one question that I kept asking myself. What about the rest of us? What about people who don't want or can't move into a co-op or co-housing? Do all of us need to move into eco-villages in order to create a sustainable world for future generations? On the way to New Mexico, we found some answers.
Well, we're just kind of hunkered down there, you know, with a blanket or with a little comforter over us. The windows blew out in the south, and it was pretty scary. When it hit the house, I'm thinking, this is where I'm going to die. This is going to be it.
The tornado, unfortunately, wiped out most of the backyard fences, and when they rebuilt the town, they decided we're not going to put up those backyard fences again. We're going to have more of a community here. It's not just an eco-village, it's not just a co-housing neighborhood, it's an entire city that's decided we're going to be a sustainable community.
After the tornado, one of the first things that we noticed as a community is the resilience and determination of the citizens. We did community planning as a group, not 7 or 8 individuals sitting behind a desk at City Hall or at the county courthouse. It involved the whole community.
Okay, everybody lost. Okay, so what if your house isn't, you know, the best insulated? But if you're recycling, hey, that's one up. You have to accept everybody where they're at.
It's about doing what you can within your limits, and so for some people it's riding a bicycle instead of driving a car. For other people it might be digging a geothermal well to help keep their heating and cooling costs down. You know, different people can be sustainable in different ways.
When Greensburg decided to reinvent itself as green, it just made a lot more sense. It's really changed the awareness of really everybody in town.
And your priorities in life change really fast, so the things that might have irritated you about somebody before,
you learn to get over it.
Yeah.
You think twice about what you say now because you never know what could happen tomorrow.
And being together as a community is way more important, and the green has helped us, and being a sustainable community has helped us. I think it's saved us.
We'd never seen anything quite like Greensburg, and now we were wondering if there were other towns and cities making the transition. Come to find out, there are hundreds of communities around the world who are doing just that, called transition towns.
People who do transition aren't acting from a place of fear. I think maybe there's an initial push and an initial catalyst, but then what's driving people is vision and hope, based on the idea that it's very hard to move towards something else if you can't imagine it. And imagining it first is a really powerful first step.
Your discussion can be about is we're only going to ask for 1 to 3 either experiences or skills that you think would be resilient skills. I want you to think about this in the context if we have a real crisis, either financial or fuel or whatever, what kind of experience or skills do you have that could be useful for the community?
Where people are more skilled, people are more productive, they're involved in producing what's in their lives more than they are now. They have more time for each other. For me, the big work of the next 20 years is to transition the existing communities, the longer established communities.
We in our society have become backyard, back patio people over the last 40 years. We came home from work, we raised the garage door, we drove in. If it was in the winter, we went in, turned on the TV or read a book or whatever we did. If it was in the summer, we went in the backyard on the patio. Oh, and by the way, we built a fence around our backyard so that nobody could see us. It's time in our society right now, and for me, it's truly sustainable. We get back to where we're front porch people. Because when we're front porch people, we wave at the neighbors. We see the people walking down the street. We develop those relationships and have conversation. So if there is an issue comes up, we already have started that conversation and know these people.
This is happening right now with real people that anybody in America could relate to. And for me, that's a beautiful picture to see.
Beyond co-ops, co-housing, and eco-villages, seeing models like Greensburg Greentown and transition towns gave me a tremendous amount of hope that everybody can create sustainable community right where we're at.
I guess you could have a community that was far from perfect, that might be called a sustainable community because their commitment is to evolve in that direction.
And so community for me is that smallest unit in which we recreate the kind of intimate dynamics that tribes and extended families had.
A group of people who really work together and have at some level an agreement that we're going to work this out.
We need to focus on what we can agree on and not what we don't agree on. And I think that that's true for any effort, any time that we come together in community, in any community.
We all have gifts, and the way to bring those gifts out is to surround yourself by others.
We as humans have the capacity to love incredibly. We have just scratched the surface of how capable we are of love.
If we can do that with a group of 10, then that's expanding that circle of trust, and hopefully it keeps going.
Often people come to me and say, well, what does community look like? And I say, well, if you can imagine what you would like to see in a community, there's probably one out there like that.
Throughout this project, the word community has been completely redefined.
The relationship of people to each other and the relationship of people to the land.
After visiting 100 sustainable communities across the United States, we were certain that this country was alive in community. And now, more than ever, believe that we can all create a sustainable and cooperative future.
So your suitcase is your home, but you've lost the urge to roam from the roots within yourself that take you to your wealth. It's just another day that you would not call your own. So the journey is your drift, and the distance